Thank you, Dr. Basalira. A very good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our session where we're going to be talking about how mindset builds success, drawing from the JEKA story. JEKA is a poultry farm found in Kamoli. And this morning, as we wait to listen to JEKA, I just want us to remember that when we start business, we all want to succeed. Nobody wakes up planning to fail. Everybody starts a business, they want to grow. Some may not want to grow that much, but you want to see progress in one way or the other. You want to win, and you want to be among the successful entrepreneurs. And what do we focus on? We focus on money, our location, we focus on the team, we focus on the assets. But the question is that enough? Is that enough for you as an entrepreneur who wants to see success? Because we've seen people with all these kind of things, but they still struggle in their business. And of course, now you now also find people with not that much, and yet they're able to build something extraordinary. The difference is the way we think, the way we see the world around us, the way we do things in our business. And at MOOBS, Entrepreneurship, Innovation and Incubation Center, we always talk about the entrepreneurial mindset. This morning, we have Mr. Natyetye Ronald from JEKA Poultry Farm, which is found in Kamuli, in Busoga. He's going to be sharing with us what has shaped the success of JEKA Poultry Farm. I found their story on TikTok, and it is unbelievable. And this morning, Ronald is going to take us through the journey of JEKA Poultry Farm. Ronald has an MSc, Master of Science in Plant Sciences, a Bachelor of Science in Agriculture, and a postgraduate diploma in Project Management. He is a proactive and results-oriented climate-smart agriculture and food security advisor with over 10 years of practical experience in agricultural development, research, and project implementation. He has participated in designing, managing, and delivering climate-smart agriculture, food security, livelihoods, and resilience building programs that improve productivity, enhance household incomes, and strengthen adaptive capacity of vulnerable communities. Ronald is an external projects manager at JEKA Poultry Farm. Ronald, I would like to say that we are very excited to listen to you. You have 40 minutes to share the story of JEKA Poultry Farm, and thereafter we'll have a question and answer session. Please unmute and start your presentation. Thank you.
Good morning, Dr. Diana. This is Josh from the technical team. I don't seem to see his name. Maybe he's logged in a different name in the chat.
Okay.
He's logged in as Fembi support. Fembi support. I sent you a message, Josh. Fembi support. Have you seen?
Thank you so much, Doctor. Yes, I have seen.
Oh, yes. Thank you, host. Thank you so much. Sorry, I was struggling to get access to the microphone. I hope everyone is able to hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Hear you well.
Oh, wow. Thank you. A very good morning to everyone listening in. From wherever you're joining in, I would like to welcome you once again, adding to the voice of the first presenters that with us today. You are with a great team to help you shape your journey in entrepreneurship, and especially in the poultry business line. I'll be sharing with you the journey of JEKA Poultry Farm, but building on the mindset aspect, how mindset has made us who we are today, and yeah, maybe you can learn one or two things, but I want to assure that by the end of my presentation, I'm sure you'll be inspired, but also you will have learned one or two things. Now, I will start from here. Just like I was introduced, my name is Ronald Natyetye, and I work with JEKA Poultry Farm as an external projects manager. I oversee and coordinate projects here. Of course, we do focus on poultry production here at the farm, but also with the community. Today, like I said, we'll look at how mindset has shaped us as JEKA. I will have a mix of the mindset aspect, but also how mindset has shaped the different activities. So you'll hear me talk about our journey, but at the same time talk about the key aspects of mindset that have really made us be where we are today. Host, I'll request, I don't know if it's possible for me to present my slide, or I can go on with this as they're talking like this.
Technical team will give you support to make the presentation. Technical team kindly enable the presenter to share his presentation.
Okay.
Yes, Mr. Ronald, I think you are able.
Yeah, sure. So we are here, and I would want to quickly go through this. So I'll start from here. We always have this here at the farm that for you to succeed in poultry farming, you need to not only love it, but have the entrepreneurship, entrepreneurial mindset that will shape your decision making and everything that concerns poultry farming. Just quickly, maybe in a second or two, what is this entrepreneurial mindset as regards to farming here at JEKA Poultry Farm Limited? So we are thinking it's a unique thinking. We've probably come across this word many times and heard it from people, mindset, but to us, we think it's a unique thinking, a distinctive approach to challenges and opportunities. And as I talk about challenges and opportunities, I want you to always refer it to the poultry business. So that unique way that you do things and look at opportunities different from the conventional methods of problem solving. But also here we say in the opportunity aspect, the ability for you to recognize opportunity where others see no opportunity. I'll speak about how the director of JEKA Poultry Farm managed to be where he is just because he saw opportunity where others didn't see. Then last year, about the entrepreneurial mindset, the innovation aspect. To be successful as a poultry farmer in business, you need to have an innovation focus, a commitment to resourcefulness, adaptation, but also a way of a creative way of thinking that will enable you have solutions that support the business to grow. So with that small overview of what the entrepreneurial mindset is, I would like to dive quickly into the background of JEKA. Most of the words are not on these slides. I've tried to put the key things here, but the rest will be coming in as I speak. So JEKA Poultry Farm was established. The first operation started in 2007, and we are located in Bukwenge Zone, Northern Division of Kamuli Municipality here in Kamuli District. And the founder and director is Engineer Vasangwa Johnson. You've heard the word engineer, so you should be already wondering how has the engineer managed to, raise all these birds and have this one of successful poultry businesses in the country. So at the same time, the farm was co-founded by also Mrs. Namkos Veronica, who happens to be the wife to the director. We are in the agriculture sector, as you obviously know, and then our value chain is poultry production, and our value chain node we are into eggs production. That eggs are our flagship product. Now, the reason why we went into poultry, we had started as JEKA with another venture, which was piggery. I will come to that, but which was, like I said, the innovation focus and the opportunity, seeing an opportunity where others don't see it. We were initially in piggery, but we chose to venture into eggs because we saw immense opportunities in there. And at that time, of course, the early 2000s, the poultry sector was just growing in Uganda, and a lot of people had not really seen these opportunities. So we took advantage of that, and ventured into that, from moving from piggery. But I would say that we did not start as JEKA. We did not start on 100 acres. As you can see on my in my slide, it is something that most of you must be wondering. But we started with a land area of 50 feet by 100. This is the most. This is the current standard measurement of land, especially in the urban areas. 50 by 100 feet. It's not big land. You mean if you want to put your house, for some of us who like big houses, bungalows, it may not be enough. But we were able to start with that piece of land here in Kamuli municipality. And at that time, of course, this was still also an urban area where most people were living, and you can imagine starting this in a small area, but also in an urban area. But we started with 500 birds as JEKA. 500 may sound small to some people, but it might sound big to some people. But all we will say is that when you have a scratch on the ground, you can easily dig a hole. So we are saying we started with 500, depending on where and how aware you are, and you see things. 500 could be a big or small number. To us, it was by then in 2007, it was a big number. We could not even imagine how we manage these birds to make profit out of them. But we also started, we did not start with fancy or high-tech infrastructure or poultry units. We were mostly doing local structures, getting a few eucalyptus tree poles, and then we had a structure made of eucalyptus poles and iron sheets, the ordinary iron sheets, the white ones. Most of us use, and we are using the deep litter system. The one most poultry farmers use. So, like I said, having a passion and a desire to start surpasses everything that you can have. You can have money, you can have the land, you can have the support system of friends, technical people, but if you don't have the desire and the passion to start, you cannot start. Even if we give you 10,000 birds now and you don't have the desire in your heart, in your mind, you will not have this. And for us, our success at JEKA is built on the desire, the passion, and the commitment to grow as a company. So how do we move from the idea to the business as JEKA? What were our motivation? What was our motivation to venture into poultry? Based on what I've so far shared with you, we had the desire to be self-employed. As director, for those who have time and the chance to visit JEKA, you'll be able to meet director, and he will tell you that he had the desire to be self-employed. JEKA, the director, Mr. Basangwa, who is a professional, an engineer, was had a construction company called JEKA. And of course, he was surviving, and the company was getting contracts here and there to build schools, to build health centers, and also to maintain roads in the communities. But he had not found his calling, much as that was his profession, but I think it was not his calling. He still didn't feel like he was where he wanted to be. And of course, being from a farming family, a family that used to farm dairy cattle, he still thought that he had not achieved his dream. So he continued to do the construction work with different people within Busoga and across and outside Busoga. But he had the power, the passion, and he had the plan to do poultry. Yeah, that was about the desire to be self-employed. He was already self-employed, but he did not feel like he was earning enough or getting what he wanted to get. So, but also what motivated the director to go into poultry was that the job market where he was, there was a lot of, of course, the competition drives innovation, but in the construction sector, he normally tells people who come here, and we always share that the construction sector was, I will not be shy to say this, but there's a lot of corruption in there. To win a contract, you have to put in money, and then you have a line of people who want to eat on that contract. And that is for him, that was for him not what he was trained or raised to be, that you have to buy someone to give you a contract. So he thought otherwise, say, no, I can do something and do it in the most professional way without, making people feel or feel the pain of buying a contract. So, but also poultry by then, and still today, poultry still has immense opportunities along the value chain, from just production, value addition to marketing. There is a lot of opportunities along the poultry value chain, different nodes. So you choose where you want to be and where you see opportunity. People who have said for them they will deal in poultry feeds. There are those who are saying they will buy the eggs and sell. There are those who are saying they will only focus on selling the poultry manure. They don't want to go through the hassle of raising birds. So they want to sell only the poultry manure and pick it from the farms and sell to coffee farmers, banana farmers, maize, and all that. Yeah, so that motivated the founder to start or to venture into poultry farming. But also we are saying, much as there was all that motivation, there was a lot that was, pushing him back, is trying to start things here and there were saying, no, you are not going to succeed. So there were some challenges. I want to say that there was a lot of negativity from the community, the surrounding homes and all that. That you're an engineer, you'd be very successful being an engineer. Why, that negative talk from the community? Of course, you can't be a saint in your own, community. So people did not think he was going to make it, and of course they can always sabotage, with all that. And by then, the farm was purely run by family labor, and you can imagine, the negativity around. But also the starting from 500, you'd say that there was limited technical services, and the space, like you saw, 50 feet by 100 feet was not enough to give you a business, to make business sense, but also limited market. In the beginning, from the 500 birds, the small farm was producing about 14, 15 trays of eggs, but selling those trays, 15, was not easy. I would say, I want to assure that selling the 15 trays was not easy. And you can imagine from Kamuli to Mbale, where they could sell the small number of trays, is over 150 kilometers. So you can imagine, you have to collect the eggs to reach at least 100 trays or even 200 before you take. And that is very, very cumbersome for the small farm, for the starting in the start. So the market within here, people are not really, people are still having mostly their local birds and getting eggs from them. But also generally, starting a business with limited access. I think by then the loaning, the agri-financing was not that much. So we've learned that there was that challenge of limited access to finance. But what was our success factor? We attributed the attributing factor, the key trait, in how the director has been able to push the farm from 500 to the current number that I'll do mention. Just like I said in the beginning, having the entrepreneurial mindset. So what does it comprise of? The commitment to the goal, being present on the ground, and most importantly, developing the system, a system that runs the farm. A system doesn't have to be a system of 100 people, even if there are 3, 4, 5 people, but these are the people that without them or with them, the farm runs. It is very, very key as people who want to venture into poultry farming. So I did not mention most of our products and services, but in addition to the eggs, JEKA sells the old chicks. We call them dogs. Then we do farmer trainings and extension services. We sell poultry feed concentrates, as you can see in the photos. We import from Netherlands. We import chicks from Netherlands, Belgium, Turkey, but also we import our feed from Netherlands. It's called Solo Profit. We also sell poultry manure. We process manure from the local word is Karimbwe. we get the poultry droppings and make manure. Our fertilizer is a complete fertilizer and most preferred by coffee farmers and banana plantation owners, and also horticulture farmers across the region. So I wanted to give you a hint about what we sell or provide as services and products. So how do we walk the talk, building on the entrepreneurial mindset of our director? I told you in 2007 we started with 500 birds. By 2012, we had only 5,000 birds in 2010. And that is the time also when the farm was incorporated as a company limited. You know, we had 3 years of, you know, we are talking to MOOBs, fraternity and the general public, but you know, sometimes we have to, we make baby steps. So in 2007, we started, but got incorporated or registered in 2010, in September 2010. So now, away from 2010, as we speak now, the farm is growing and still growing, but currently we have about 120,000 layers. This is a very huge number of birds to manage if you're not an entrepreneur with that mindset that drives sustainability. So we can attribute this, you know, growth to having an opportunity vision as a farm. Our director is a very vision-oriented person and is very innovative, of course. You can imagine, if you come to our farm here, you may not see the most modern poultry houses, but within the local setting, we have been able to put up poultry units that meet the standards, but also using the local low-cost technologies we have around Usoga. So you will not find these fancy buildings here, but we are saying we can be innovative within using the resources around us, but also having the vision of seeing opportunities. So we've seen opportunity over time from 2007 that we can be better and better if we invest more, but also if we invest more in layers. We can talk about other types of birds, the broilers also, but our opportunity that we see for growth as a farm is in layers, and that's why we have, you know, focused on layers for now. We do produce approximately, or if not more than 2,000 trays of eggs a day. Someone will do a calculation of 120 layers, but you know that on a farm you'll have birds that are laying, but also you'll have birds that are yet to lay. So you'll have that number, but you know you cannot have all the birds sometimes for such a big farm laying at the same time. So that is the approximate number of trays that we produce a day. You can do your calculations of how much that is at an average price of 10,000 per tray. But and you can imagine those number of trays that we produce per day. We have a market reach only Eastern region. We don't cross the Nile, but also these eggs don't go beyond Usogats mostly. We are serving customers in Kamuli, Buyende, around Jinja, Iganga, once in a while Busia, but you know, most of the eggs are consumed, and we are not within Usoga. We are not even hitting all the districts of Soga, you can imagine. So we have a growth plan, of course. Our market assessment as a farm indicates that from our marketing department indicates that we need about 4,000 trays a day to meet the demand, but also to meet the demand of our current buyers. And when I talk about current buyers, that is within Usoga, the district that we serve. So if we have to cross the Nile or cross the north, then that means we need to produce more than that. So, but like I said, we can only walk the talk as a farm, and we have been able to do that because we have a leadership here that he has an opportunity vision, but also is innovative. So innovativeness has helped us, you know, be able to survive and also remain in business. You will, of course, there's a lot behind what I'm saying. In the interest of time, I'm giving you the highlights of what it is. But if you talk about the innovation, for example, it goes beyond how do you use the space on your farm? You just throw poultry units here and there. How do you handle the feeding? Because the feeding birds takes the biggest cost. It takes about 70% of the cost of production. So you can imagine 70%. If you go wrong with the feeding, you're definitely going to be knocked out of the business. But how do you be innovative? And that calls for someone who has an entrepreneur mindset, that if I have to put in 100, then I have to get more than 100. But that 100 shillings has to be, has to give me something, either double or triple. So just a highlight of, again, what has made us to reach the 120,000 layers is that we have adapted to the challenges of the poultry industry, and I can't say we are a risk-taking company. Poultry is a high-risk venture, and if you don't adapt to what it is, then you'll find yourself cursing. So risk-taking, because, for example, we have our farm here, that biosecurity is key, but we want people to learn. People come here every day. We have never stopped receiving people here who come and want to learn. They want to see our houses. Now we take them, they see the houses. But also, sometimes you want to add 10,000 birds on your flock, and you go for it. Some people will say, let me do a lot of assessments, which is okay. But sometimes you have to have that risk-taking mindset that, makes you always curious to do things. Most people go into business like poultry farming we use this risk-averse kind of thinking, which is okay, but it will limit you in terms of growth. It will hold you back all the time you want to make another step. So for us as a company, as a farm, we have diversified our products and services. We would have been only stuck or focused on layers, but we have seen opportunities here and there. They're all chicks. Imagine we import chicks, like the broiler chicks, the sasso chicks. We import them from Netherlands. We put in money, sell them to the farmers. We have poultry concentrates. There are a lot of companies selling poultry concentrates, fertilizers, but we've said no. We've seen an opportunity. Let's take a risk and invest in poultry, in machinery and equipment for making fertilizers. But also, let's take a risk and start a JEKA animal feed. So we are running a sister entity under JEKA Poultry Farm that oversees the marketing of poultry feeds, and also at the same time we are running a sister entity that oversees the marketing of day-old chicks, the marketing of fertilizers, but also we started the projects department. So we are supporting community. We would say no, for us, we want eggs, but these are things that we take risk and see whether they work, and they have worked out. We have been able to reach here because also of partnerships is the success factor, I would say, and then the financial discipline. It is very, very, very key. You will have money, and then tomorrow you will want to eat it all. Mentorship and learning. Maybe this second last. How do we keep the business running? Building on the entrepreneur mindset. The attributing traits or factor here is the problem solving. We always do. We have strategic planning that happens every year, towards end of year, we always draw plans for the next, like any other business does. But we are always too strategic in terms of how we want to grow as a company. I would tell you that we are at 120 for now, but we have a growth plan. I told you our market demands 4,000 trays. So we are in the process of increasing our stock or our flock to 200, 240 by probably, God willing, if God helps us, we will be having the 200 and something birds by end of the year. But also consistency. You can't offer what you don't have. And if you can't offer consistently to the market, then the customers will not be there. That is the principle here at the farm. The customer comes to you with a problem, you have to give them a solution. If they want eggs, you have to give them eggs. If they want feeds, you have to give them feeds. So you cannot say sometimes market is not there if you don't have enough for the market. Most times we lose customers because they have gone. They came to buy something, they did not find it, they went somewhere else, they found it, and they now continue with the new supplier. So we have tried our best to be consistent with the little number of trays. We've been consistent. You will not come and miss to get eggs here at the farm. But also we document processes. We learn from the processes. And if you come to the farm now, you'll see that we used to have the traditional poultry houses. We are improving them. We are transitioning to cages that will, of course, we have many birds. If you use cages, many birds in a small space.
Hello, Mr. Natyetye. I propose you summarize in the next 3 minutes.
Okay.
Yes.
So thank you so much. Maybe a second last item. Financial literacy. We invest a lot in learning financial management at the farm. Resource management, of course, resources, water, everything that goes into production at the farm, and making those very well-informed strategic decisions that regards the financial choices the farm makes. Yeah. In a nutshell, I would want to say that happy hens means happy farmers. And for us, nothing is impossible because the word itself says, I am possible. And at JEKA, we know that it is possible. Thank you so much. Over to you, Doctor.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Natyetye Ronald. We appreciate you for a great presentation that you've made. Thank you for taking us through this great topic of the JEKA way, how mindset builds success. We can see how mindset has enabled you to progress well. Thank you, I appreciate you. Thank you for finding time in your busy schedule. I remember when we were looking for you to come and make this presentation. Thank you for accepting. Ladies and gentlemen, I know he's made a great presentation. He's given us issues of what mindset is, background of JEKA, the challenges they've gone, success factors, and the other activities that they get involved in. We appreciate you because I can see you are in community at the same time because you are enabling others to learn what you are doing. Thank you very much. I know people logged on here have many questions to raise. Others to speak. Allow me to invite Miss Nora Chisache to handle the Q&A session.
Thank you very much, our host. And thank you very much, Mr. Ronald Natyetye. Thank you so much for your great presentation. And members logged on, you're welcome to raise your hand in case of any question. Feel free to raise your hand so that you can ask the speaker directly, or you can post your question in the Q&A or chat. Feel free to post your question in the chat, or you can raise your question. You can raise your hand so that our presenter can address the questions. And in the meanwhile, we thank our presenter. I have some comments in the chat. Yes, and thanking you so much for the presentation. And Dr. Edith is asking, you talked about demonstration to other people. Do you earn from the business? Do you earn from the demonstration business?
Yes, thank you so much, moderator. I was looking for the mic. It was hidden somewhere. So thank you everyone for the questions and the compliments, and Mulindwa James says target of 2,000 trays on this, but is about 50%. Isn't this low? I think I did mention that we have the young flock and the mature flock that is laying. The one that is the birds that produce, the ones that are currently laying are the ones that are giving us 2,000 trays. But of course, for us, this is I would say we are producing at the percentage that we expect to produce, so it's not low. Dr. Edith was asking, I talk about demonstration to other people. Do you earn from the demonstration? Yes, that is another revenue stream for the farm, that people who come to learn, an individual is charged a fee for coming to learn, but also the community, the extension work that we do with the farmers. The farmers pay a fee because we, as JEKA, we have community, we call them the CAVs, the community agrovet entrepreneurs, who train farmers that do business with us. So there is a fee that they do pay. Of course, it is subsidized in the interest of supporting small agri enterprises. So we make some money from that as a company. It is a small revenue stream that keeps us running, offsetting a few costs here and there, maybe paying bills. Tuza, thank you for the wonderful presentation. Yeah. My question is, looking back, what is the one decision you made in the early days of JEKA farm that looked wrong to everyone around you now? Interesting. There are a number of things that looked wrong to people. That decision of director quitting his construction work, because I said he had a company, a construction company that was called JEKA, but he had to quit and come back to, go into poultry. Imagine poultry was around, he had about 5,000 birds by then, by the time he quit his construction work. It looked so wrong because he had established his name as an engineer doing quality work for people, but he chose that, no, I'm going into poultry. It was very wrong for many people, but over time, it has come to, be an inspiration to the majority that doubted. But of course, commitment and focus has been key in that decision. Then Kisache Ethan, how did JEKA farm remain resilient? How did JEKA farm remain resilient? Am I reading the right question? Okay. How did JEKA farm remain resilient? Sorry, moderator. My question is, how did you manage to remain focused on consistent growth in the poultry, as many times people falter? And He has questions, I think.
Yes, he has many questions.
So
He's saying
maybe
how.
I can answer this one.
Okay, then.
So as many times people falter and want to scale the business quickly rather than intentionally grow their business. So for us, we say in poultry, like I had said earlier, that poultry is a very risky business, but also to remain consistently growing, you have to be focused. Because most people come into poultry farming because they have been told that there is money in poultry. And when they face the reality, when they are hit by the reality of the industry, they of course back down and either close business or that. But we tell them uh, working with along someone who has been in business. Of course, as JEKA, we have people who advise us. We have consultants that keep advising us, guiding us on working together with us on the decisions that we make. So it is very essential that you have the technical people around you, people who advise you, but also remaining afloat, you need to have discipline. Discipline is very key. For example, if you borrow money to invest in a poultry house, you don't have to go from the bank when they have given you the loan, for example, and run to a butcher or go to a bar and drink. Discipline in everything that you do, financial discipline. And for us at JEKA, financial discipline has been very, very, very pertinent in how we have succeeded as a company. Of course, networking, we have network. We have business partners that are in the same business. Either they are selling feeds or vaccines, or they are selling something that we use at the farm. So this network, sometimes you might be in crisis, and your partners can come in, maybe give you vaccines when you don't have money, maybe give you feed when you have no feed, and then when you sell eggs, probably can offset. But these are things that you can only learn or be able to understand when you are in business. Ivan, how would you advise someone who is still employed, loves poultry farming, and desires to go wholesale in the business? We have a number of people who are into poultry. Poultry needs you on ground, to be honest, my brother. One factor that has made people not grow, the ones that are working while doing farming, is that you have less time for your business. You will not understand the details. Poultry farming is a business that is detail oriented. There are very specific things that you can only know or be able to provide solution to if you're on ground. But we are saying you can build your business slowly. So when the right time comes for you to quit your employment, your job, you will. But have the end in the mind as you start, so that you don't just quit your job today and tomorrow. We are not saying you go into the farming wholesale tomorrow and you get profits, because again, it's a process that it requires you to prepare adequately. So to be fully employed, if you want to run a successful poultry farm, you'll need like more than 80% of your time there. Madam Edith, doctor is saying, what is your comment concerning sugarcane growing in Usoga versus poultry? Can you give a comment on sugarcane? Yeah. We are actually, one of my roles at the farm here is to see that we change the mindset of many people here in Usoga who are growing sugarcane to join poultry, because we have tested it with, we have worked with over 10,000 farmers who have probably, as I speak, transition, or they are doing something to do with poultry. You'll, on average, from an acre of sugarcane, on average, if you have a take home of about 600,000 from an acre. And that is after like between 16 to 18 months of sugarcane. So you can imagine what that means. And so we are telling farmers, you can have a land area of 150 by 100 or 100 by 50 and still make money more than the person who is in who is doing sugarcane. So we are trying to train them. If you have, for example, if you have, for example, 500 layers, you can make more money in one cycle than someone in sugarcane. So we are trying, doctor, to change the mindset, and for sure there is no profit made from sugarcane. It's one thing that pains us here, and we are doing our best. There was a question from someone here, I don't know. Becky, thank you so much for the presentation. Do you give support training to farmers that buy chicks from the farm, especially startup? Yes, like I said, we have community agro vets as a company. We have marketing officers also who do marketing of these birds. So these are technical people who, of course, pre and post, they provide services. So they do follow-ups, they backstop the farmers that we sell products to. And at the end of the day, of course, also we have a feedback loop. There's a feedback loop that we have with our farmers, and the feedback they give us always helps us to, inform what kind of support we tailor to them at the end of the day. Yeah. Nora, I think the questions are done.
Thank you, Mr. Natyetye. There are some 3 questions in the chat, in the Q&A section. I would like to read them, then we can close.
Okay.
One of them is asking, that is Gaba Ambrose, help us get locations properly and contacts in case one wants to come to you for your services. And another one is asking, an anonymous attendee, kindly advise someone who would like to venture in layers, how to manage the costs, especially the feeds, which is 70% of the costs. And finally, Mr. James is also thanking you for the presentation and asking, what challenges do you get from the workers? Thank you very much. And I guess after this, we can be able to close the Q&A section.
Okay, thank you so much. Those are interesting questions. Of course, we hear and receive them always. For the locations, like I said, we are in Kamuli municipality in a zone called Bukwenge. You will not get lost. We are behind. We share a fence with Kamuli Girls Primary. So we can share the number, the contact, the office contact, maybe at a later stage. So, but when you come to Kamuli, you reach the Chawazinga Palace, called it is in Budumbula. You take it's like 2 kilometers, actually less than 2 kilometers to Kamuli Girls. Then in the same area, that's where the farm is. It's called the Bukwenge Zone. It's in the municipality. The other question was about how do you manage costs? Yeah, Nora, if I remember well, sorry. So we do manage costs, yes, especially the 70% cost of feed. Like I said, we have, of course, we have a system at the farm, which I may not be able to explain explicitly here, but we have mastered the art of producing feed here at the lowest cost. We realize that there is the concentrate we use, for example, only requires, you only put 2 ingredients, the maize and the maize bran, maybe also lime for the layers. So in that way, you avoid the cost of sourcing for other ingredients like soybean or sunflower cake and all that. Those are small things. Depending on the type of concentrate to use, will push your cost of production for feed higher. But also, when you produce your own feed at the farm, because for us, we make our feed here, we mix for ourselves, and we have a team. Actually, we have a team that is called the feed mixing team. We have a production unit for feeds here. So we make our own feeds at the farm. We mix, and we know and understand. We feed birds according to their intake per day. We don't give birds feed because they want to eat. We focus on the intake per day, but also, like I said to the other member who asked, when you're on ground, when you're working with your birds every day, you will know their pattern of eating. So sometimes we do invest in feed because we are far, and then a farm worker is telling you, today we need 10 tons, and then you're giving them money for 10 tons. But if you're on ground, you'll understand how birds eat, and maybe they will not need 10 tons anyway. So you have to have that in mind and be able to have those small details that will help you understand how best to manage the cost. The other question was about how do you manage workers? Yeah, so JEKA, we have, of course, the farm, but also we have shops, branches in different areas. We have a branch in Luero, Kayunga, Mukono, Wakiso. We have our agents in Iganga and many other parts. So we overall on the farm, we have very many, of course, workers. The number depends on the season. When we are into a lot of activities like construction, the number increases. But I can't say that we employ close to 300 people, and most of these are women and youth. Of course, HR, human resource management, is tricky. People leave. Sometimes this farm work, people work and get tired and they will leave. Some people will leave because they have misconduct. Because of misconduct, for example. But most importantly, we try to mentor our employees. We've not had a lot of people leaving the farm because of because they have misbehaved or because of those bad manners. We do a lot of mentorship and coaching. Our farm has different sections. We have those workers in the brooding unit. They are trained. They undergo like 2 weeks of training when they're employed. Even if you come with a degree or a PhD, you'll have to undergo that induction, serious training, and so that you master the art of how we do work. You may come from farm X in Ruelo, but there is a way we do things here. So we have to show you how we do things. And in that way, we have minimized errors from workers. Of course, we do provide a lot of support in terms of personal protective gear. Workers are protected, workers are fed, they're given food at the farm. Yeah, and many other things. So the welfare is very key for us, and for you to get the best out of your workers, their welfare is very critical. If you do it wrongly, they will probably even end up stealing eggs from you. Thank you so much, Nora.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ronald Tete. We thank you so much for responding to our questions. Back to you, our host.
Thank you very much, Madam Nora Chisache, for managing the Q&A. And also, I would like to appreciate our presenter once again, Mr. Ronald Natyetye. Thank you for further interacting with our participants. And also, allow me to appreciate you for finding time in your busy schedule to come and talk to our entrepreneurs. We appreciate you very much. Before I go any further, allow me to invite Professor Yovan Moses Rubale to give closing remarks. Professor Yovan Rubale is a professor at the university. He has a very long CV, which I may not talk about now, but I will emphasize that he originates from Kamuli. I will also pull out the issue that he is the father to the current Bishop of Busoga Diocese, Bishop Grace Rubale. Of Busoga, the new Bishop of Busoga Diocese. Professor Rubale, kindly give closing remarks, and thank you for attending the session. Professor Rubale, please. Technical team, allow Professor Rubale, his Yovan Rubale, to give closing remarks.
Thank you, Dr. Edith. It has been wonderful. A number of times I've missed listening to these ones, but today, by God's luck, as I went to my phone to check for something, I saw a WhatsApp from you. So I'm really excited. Thank you, Ronald, for the wonderful presentation. I think this farm now has moved from just being an individual farm to a public farm. Like Dr. Edith has said, I come from nearby. I know these days we are using words like municipality and so on. Me, I come from Businkina. So we used to walk from Businkina through Kumusamvu to Bukwenge. Unfortunately, I'm just ignorant that apart from hearing about Basangwa, I've never visited that farm, which was a walking distance for us from home, coming to Bukwenge Church of Uganda. But I think now, after listening to you, during this Christmas when I come, I will ensure that my entire family visits. So what I wanted to say is that we are really excited because every time I've heard about Baswangwa's farm, I had never known how big it is, but having 120,000 layers, this is so huge. I'm just imagining that a number of people, if they were keeping 500, this would be like 60 farms. So for you to bring all this together, this is so great, so wonderful. So we are excited. There are a number of things which I think we shall come and learn from you. But since I've been only told to give closing remarks, one is that we are very grateful, Ronald, for this presentation, and we are looking forward to you to make another presentation. However, I will leave you some questions which you don't have to answer, but you are going to ponder about them. One is, are you doing some innovations at the farm, or we shall continue to depend on outside technology? Like we keep on importing concentrates from Netherlands and so on. Is there a way that we can also train our own? I think that will be the first question. The other one is that there was a time the government was giving out chicks to people and so on. Didn't it distort your market? Then the other one is you've talked about manpower, you've talked about income and so on. So I think there are so many. Are you trying to put some of these things into a booklet that for some of us who are just interested in reading, we can just pick it, read, and then be able to internalize? What about how do you deal with off-season? For example, maize, that it can be off-season and the price of maize can run from 700 to 1,500. How do you deal with those situations? because those are some of the things that defeat us as farmers. That when maize is cheap, we keep our birds. When maize is expensive, we sell them off. Then how long do you keep your layers to lay? And when the layers, the time when they have stopped laying, are they still cost effective, or the whole of it is profit? So I think these are some of the questions which are running into my mind, but otherwise I'm so grateful, I'm excited. By the way, my village house is in Kamuli municipality, just 400 meters away from the park. That place called Kablistan. If you go to Kablistan and you find a very big space there of about 3 acres, surrounded by so many houses, that is my home. And that's why I'm saying that I'm looking forward to coming to seeing this farm, because it looks so grateful. I've had a lot. Otherwise, we are so grateful, and I hope that people in Busoga, use this model of the Basangwa farm to also build other cooperatives, like Kamuli Cocoa Growers Cooperatives, like the Hass Avocado Cooperatives. I mean, the different ones. I think if we are able to do this, then we can drive poverty out of our area. Thank you so much, Dr. Edith, for organizing this. I think every Thursday, be sending me an email. And thank you, Ronald. Since you've given us your telephone number, I think one of these days I should give you a call, please. When you see my number, pick, and I ask you a number of questions. With those, I want to say thank you, MOBS, for organizing this. We are learning a lot. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Professor Yovan Moses Vale, for great closing remarks. I think you've given many indicators and initiatives that can be done in the community of Busoga. We appreciate you. Thank you, Professor Ruvale. I forgot to say that Professor Yovan Ruvale is a board member of Wanyange, the great school, Wanyange Girls Senior Secondary School in Jinja. I was reminded by the head teacher, Madam Deborah Basekanacho Wesonga, who is also logged on. Thank you very much for logging on, members. And ladies and gentlemen, dear entrepreneurs, thank you for logging on this morning. Allow me to add my voice to appreciate our presenter once again, Mr. Ronald Natyetye. I think from what you can hear in the discussion, we should invite you again and hope you'll find time in your business schedule to come and address the entrepreneurs. We appreciate you. Thank you very much. Convey our regards to the founders of JEKA Farm. That is Mr. Engineer Basangwa and his wife. We appreciate, thank you for the impact you are making in the Busoga community. And I'm sure since you are handling mindset issues, it will make a big impact to the community in Busoga and also Uganda at large. Thank you, we appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to end it here and bye-bye for now. Remember to log on again next Thursday, same time. Bye-bye for now. Have a blessed Thursday.
Gotta get up, you gotta get up and make a move, 'cause the world will never see you until you do. No, they don't really care what you're going through, so you gotta show them, baby. You gotta show them the real you. You gotta give them what you've got. No, don't let them see what you're not, 'cause you are strong. You are wise. You are worth be perfect, baby. Cause nobody's perfect, darling. But no, 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 there's nobody in the world like you. What do you do when you can't let go? What do you say when you just don't know how you feel? And you know nobody knows how you feel. Cause everybody's got their own damn problem. So everybody's trying to find their way. And day by day is a struggle. In this world, you know you have to hustle. Just know that you're not alone. You don't always have to be strong all by yourself. I said it's okay to ask for help. Now listen, people will find you, but they don't define you. And you will find people who help redesign you. People will find you, but they don't define you. And you will find people who help redesign you. You are a work of art. Bet you didn't think you'd come this far. Now here you are. Baby, you are strong. You are wise. You are worth beyond 1,000 reasons why. And you can be perfect, baby. Cause nobody's perfect, darling. But no, 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 there's